going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven and Stereo, and in today's video, I'm not by myself. I'm actually doing a collaboration with my friend Pablo. So, Pablo, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Pablo. Me and Steven have been buddies for a while now. We met at my gym, and I just started my own YouTube channel where we're doing podcasts, talking about all aspects of life. And Steven was nice enough to feature on my channel, and now I am super honored and super stoked to be the first ever.
First collab. Pablo had me on his podcast. It was so much fun. Really cool because I knew he liked music, but we really dove into some stuff where I heard his responses and I was by the end I was like, you need a YouTube channel. So I thought it'd be really fun because he's a rock fan, and if you end up watching the podcast, which you totally should, I feel like we talked about some cool stuff. But if you're a rock fan like Pablo is, once I found that out, I was like, okay, well, I am a very open-minded person when it comes to music. So I am a rock fan just as much as I'm a rap fan or anything else. And I know that you don't dislike pop music. Let me make that very clear. He doesn't dislike pop music, but
it's not my go-to.
It's not his cup of tea.
Yeah.
He knows the singles and some bigger stuff. It's kind of like, it's just whatever to him. So I've been there before. I kind of know what that's like.
Sure.
Because I loved pop music, but I didn't really look out for more than just the singles until I started my YouTube channel. So today's concept is fun because I'm a big fan of punk rock and pop punk and all these things. And it turns out that pop music really can just define songwriting. It doesn't have to really be the style of music. So I want to play you rock-oriented songs from otherwise known as pop artists.
Good.
I thought it'd be fun. So I'm not gonna tell you who it is, and I kind of picked certain spots, so we're not gonna play the whole song.
Yeah.
But I found these spots that I thought would be something that kind of make you go,
Okay.
I'm a fan of guitars, I'm a fan of all that stuff, and I do feel like pop music has been known to kind of remove a lot of that, at least what a lot of people think. But this first group I'm gonna show you right now, I know that you know who this band is because we've talked about it before. I'm interested in what you think about this. So
I'm excited.
I'm not gonna tell you who it is. We'll talk about it after, but here you go.
Then beg me to stay, yeah. Call me in the morning to apologize. Every little lie gives me butterflies. Something in the
I really just pay attention to these instruments right here.
You got it.
First impressions.
Okay, so at the beginning, very, very poppy.
Sure.
The vocals are really good. I mean, the guy is really good. But then you introduce the guitar, and right away, I mean, that pulled me in. That definitely pulled me in. At first, I was like, okay, I don't know how to feel about this.
It's Michael Clifford's power right there. That's what he's saying. Michael Clifford's power.
Yeah. I wish I knew who that was. I apologize. But what band is it?
So this is 5 Seconds of Summer.
5 Seconds of Summer. I knew that was
So the thing that's interesting is you knew this band because she looks so perfect.
Yeah, and that song was my guilty pleasure. Back in the day, I mean, it was a song that I listened to more often than I like to admit because, like I said, it's not my cup of tea.
Sure.
But I mean, I love that song. I mean, when it came out, I was like, I can't believe I like a pop song this much. So
think about that song right now.
For sure.
You wouldn't have imagined this band doing this song.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, not at all.
So that's a big thing about a lot of these bands or artists that I'm going to show you is when you see them live, it's a different. So I was really fortunate to get to go see 5 Seconds of Summer from tickets from them, which was one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And seeing them live really is life altering. But so I want to play just another piece like this part right here. Paying attention to the distortion, I'm a big fan of the bass that runs through here. Callum, he plays bass, very talented, and some of the influence that's in the distortion and shit is so good.
Yeah.
Some days you're the best thing in my life. Sometimes when I look at you, I see my
simple, but
very, very simple, but
very hard hitting. This is live, by the way.
Okay.
Well,
Telmo has a...
it's a live. I think it's a live studio recording. It's live from the vault. Obviously, you can tell this is not just live. There's been some stuff done to it, but this is otherwise. If I showed you the original song, it doesn't sound as hard as this.
Right. So that was this is a really, I can see why you picked this song.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge fan of real instruments.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of real instruments. So the fact that they're using real instruments in a pop song, I am not saying, I'm not saying that pop songs don't necessarily use real instruments, but the fact that they're using real instruments it's already a green check for me. So definitely something.
So I will tell you, with 5 Seconds of Summer, I think they unfairly got thrown into the pop category. They're a band. I mean, it's a drummer, bass guitar, and vocalist. They all happen to sing. They're a pop rock band at the end of the day, but they do get thrown into pop a lot. So I think it's cool that you pick up on the live instruments part. One of the reasons I love them so much.
That's awesome.
This next group I'm going to show you, while they don't play their instruments, I would be willing to wager that you could consider this band an arena rock band.
Okay.
So I picked a piece to show you. I'm not going to tell you who this is yet. Let's go. A little more poppy. That's about as dead.
Get a little riff in the background.
Yeah.
Guitar riff.
Okay.
So my ears go directly to the instruments.
Okay,
I mean,
perfect.
naturally. Like I said, I mentioned the riff of the guitar in the background. Very subtle, but it's there enough to keep me coming back to the song. But yeah, definitely more poppy. Can I guess who it is? Is it one of the more popular ones?
It is.
One Direction?
It is One Direction.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Now I do have a question. Because I did not even know anything about One Direction until I started making music. I worked at Hot Topic, so we used to sell a lot of One Direction shirts, but I didn't know anything about them. This era, songs like this definitely had it made me rethink what I thought about pop music. Do you feel any of that when you're hearing this? Do you think this is One Direction?
I thought it was One Direction because I've heard One Direction songs before,
sure.
so I was able to kind of connect the dots.
Yeah.
But to your point, I came in here with a total open mind. Open mind, and I'm so glad that you're introducing me to some of these songs that are not so mainstream.
Yeah.
Because it makes you have a bigger respect for this genre, which I feel like gets a bad rap to a degree, because sometimes the mainstream stuff that you get out there is not necessarily an artist's favorite stuff. And most artists, like Taylor Swift, would say that their more mainstream stuff is not necessarily their best work.
Totally, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I'm glad you're playing these songs that I haven't ever heard before.
And that was a big thing for me too. Is so one big thing on my channel. Obviously, y'all know.
Yeah.
I like to do album reactions. I love to listen to an entire album because I think if you just came up and were just do you like One Direction, but you didn't really show me anything, or you only showed me singles,
right?
I will have an opinion when I leave. They may not have became so important to me.
Absolutely.
But because you listen to the deep cut, I feel like you start to learn why there's so many fans. I called him a stan when we were doing our podcast because he was talking about Chris Cornell in a way that y'all would talk about some of your favorite people, and to hear that passion come through, he was standing and didn't even know it. So yes, that was One Direction.
Absolutely.
This is a really important album too because they One Direction, a little bit more bubblegum the first 2 records. They didn't really get a lot of say in their songwriting. This is the first album where they were writing the songs.
Okay.
And that's why it became a rock band. And honestly,
and that's
Louis Tomlinson.
Oh yeah, that's to me super important to let artists really put their work out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not having someone else write the lyrics for them or having them push the music that they want them to push. When you really see the artists demonstrate what they're really passionate about, let them basically have the reins to their own whatever they're producing. It's much more important to me. That speaks more volumes, and that's why, like I said, this is something that I would have never thought that One Direction would play. I think a lot of people out there that don't necessarily like pop music, they just associate pop with mainstream or whatever.
Always.
They don't take and that deters them from taking the a deeper dive into like artists like
Yeah.
One Direction, Taylor Swift, 5 Seconds of Summer, more of their deeper work, which
Yeah.
I think is sometimes, and I think you could argue it's better than the mainstream work. So
I would
yeah.
argue
Yeah.
that it almost always is. I maybe in hip hop, I would say sometimes the singles are a lot better. Sometimes rappers will put a lot of filler on their albums.
For sure.
Pop artists, like the more that I produce music, the more I realize that every second that is spent in the studio, like that ends up on an album, is really important because there's a
Yeah.
lot of seconds that don't.
Absolutely.
And I think for them, they had it kind of stacked against them in a way because they were kind of manufactured from the very beginning.
Yes.
So it stacks the world against you because
absolutely.
everyone immediately writes you out. But I think I watched this NSYNC thing. They were doing the Hot Wings challenge.
Yeah.
But they said the difference between them and One Direction is in NSYNC, not all of them are good singers. They're all good at something.
Sure.
One Direction's different. Every single one of them would have they are successful on their own, but they would have been successful on their own anyways. But being in a group, dude, historical.
Absolutely.
They broke records on crazy shit.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
You know, I know that. I like I said, they most of the time, like pop is called pop because I'm assuming that's the popular, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
it's all those catchy hooks. That's why
Oh, for
the
sure.
pop rock songs are the best. You know
For sure.
why? Because the fucking guitar and the hook.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm glad that we had that conversation.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm a fan of One Direction, and I will have that conversation with anybody because I'm totally cool with anybody not liking something. I don't
Absolutely.
care. But I do think a lot of people do that thing where they discredit somebody because they
They
know
won't
it.
even go into it with an open mind, and
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to do here today with you. Is just come
Good.
in open mind.
I'm
Be
gonna give you
honest.
one-
Be
I'm gonna
honest.
give you
I
one
think that's the
now.
most important thing. Have me be genuine. If I didn't like something, I would have liked to tell you and why, not just say,
Yeah.
"Oh man, this is crap. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking listen to it." It's
And
pop,
you know what's
whatever.
funny is,
Yeah.
so I don't collab. So when right before we started filming, I was like, I don't really have anything for my video. Just, I'm okay. You can not like anything I'm about to tell you, but I need you to be able to tell me why.
Absolutely.
That was the only rule. Just, you can say whatever you want. Just say it respectfully and let me know why you don't like it.
Exactly.
This next one's gonna be fun.
All right.
So, I don't think you dislike this person. I think you probably dislike the fact that it's just all anybody talks about, and that's fair. I think even fans would agree
Right.
that it's pretty annoying.
I think I know who you're gonna play.
So it's Taylor
with.
Swift.
It's Taylor Swift.
Okay, but I don't think you've seen this.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you haven't. She did a tour.
She's super talented, by the way.
Oh,
I mean,
then wait,
she is super
wait till you
talented.
see this. Look, I get it. Like people do
Right.
dislike her. Honestly, for the most part, I couldn't tell you why, but I do think that there is she's got like this. People of constantly following her and putting everything she's ever done online, and I think that if all of your dating history was online,
Yeah.
if all my dating history, you know what I mean? Like, I
Sure.
think that she's in the spotlight. Anyways, I think this is a really amazing performance from her. This is live.
Okay.
This is a song you probably know. We Are Never Getting Back Together.
Okay.
Do you know that
No,
song?
absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. You don't know this version, and I think
All
you're
right.
going to enjoy it.
Okay.
So I'm going to play just some of it. I might even just like pan this over to you a little bit so you can kind of
Sweet.
see just how much she's into this.
I remember when we broke up, the first time saying this is it, I've had enough. 'Cause like we hadn't seen each other in a month. When you said you needed space, then you come around again and say, baby, I miss you and I swear I'm gonna change. Trust me, remember how that lasted for a day. I say I hate you, we break up, you call me, I love you.
Those backup singers.
Oh, Can I make a point for
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right away. She has my respect because she is playing a live instrument.
She
And
is
I mean,
incredible.
I
at
don't
that, by
think
the way.
people understand how difficult it is
Mhm.
to be able to do that and simultaneously sing and stay in tune. I mean, have the right pitch. I mean, it's so right away she has my respect.
Absolutely. Look at this. I have goosebumps.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah,
talking
there
about
you
an
go.
artist I talk about all the
There we
time.
go.
But that to me is, it's important too because people write off Taylor Swift right away, just a pop artist. But like, not only does she write all of her shit,
Right.
which is not normal.
Which is something another thing that I respect about her, and I didn't know that about
Yeah.
her.
So
Yes,
she
yeah.
writes all of her own shit, but she can play like a lot of instruments. If you ever watch some of her studio sessions where she's putting songs together, she is on another wavelength. I mean, I envy it so
Oh,
much.
for sure, for sure.
This time, I'm telling you, we
This just keeps getting better.
Yeah. This version is, to me, way better.
Way
than
better, right?
The radio version. I mean,
Now you made a point. You made a point though. You said that most singers are probably sick of their most famous songs.
absolutely.
This is how you can avoid that.
Yeah.
Right? Change it up a little bit.
Change it up a little bit.
Right now on the Eras tour, this is 1989 tour. This was 2014ish, I think, 2016 maybe. But the Eras tour she's doing now,
Yeah.
bro, she is performing 3 hours a night, and to prepare for that, because she also dances and she also plays instruments.
Okay.
She gets on a treadmill for 3 hours a day singing the entire set list.
That's
As a fitness person, I know
that is
you respect
dedication
that.
right there. I mean, a master of her craft. I mean,
Fuck.
you don't have to like her, but you damn sure have to fucking.
Did you
respect
hear what
her.
he just said?
I mean,
How
I
many?
mean,
I know he has not watched any of my Taylor Swift videos.
I have not. I have not.
You know that
Full
I fucking
disclosure.
say that all the time, right? You don't have to like her, but you better fucking respect what she does, because any of us could learn from it.
And like I said, she is a professional of the utmost.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's just on another level.
I'm
for
about
sure.
to give you some more. It just keeps getting better.
And I gotta admit, out of the 3 songs that you played so far,
It's your favorite?
by far, my
I
favorite,
kind of figured
by far
it
my
would
favorite.
be,
And
because she.
that's
This is,
saying a lot. If I had to bet at the beginning before, I wouldn't have.
You
bet
wouldn't
it.
have
I
thought
wouldn't
that,
have-
right?
I would have thought that.
and the thing
Yeah.
that I think really helps is that this is considered the rock version. She specifically wanted it to be played this way. She's a huge fan of
That's
rock.
amazing. And even if it wasn't a rock, if she even twisted it some
Yeah.
other way, I think the fact that she went about let's keep it fresh. Who hasn't heard this song? Unless you're living under a rock, you have not heard this song.
Yeah.
You can hear this song, and it's a completely different experience. So,
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing it. But
Yeah, dude.
let's play some more, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's really good.
And it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. And I love her attire. This. I mean.
Oh yeah, no,
and
this
it's,
this is literally such a fucking moment. But this bridge right here,
Yeah.
she's not fucking around.
I cannot emphasize how much I respect the fact that she's playing an instrument and singing it.
Oh yeah,
I just cannot emphasize that. You know?
which is I talk about this all the time. Like I really suck at playing the guitar, but like you want me to sing and play guitar, I can't play guitar.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't do 2 things at once.
Definitely not like
play,
that.
play an instrument live in front of how many people? What is that, like 60,000?
It was sold out.
80,000?
Yeah, I'm sure it was 60.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Going forward, screaming that I'm right, and you hide away and find your peace of mind with some indie record that's much cooler than mine. Call me up again tonight, but
She's just so badass. Okay, let me show you the
Super,
bridge.
super great performer. I mean, I dare compare her to the great
Oh,
Michael
God.
Jackson. I compare her to the great in terms of performing.
Yeah.
I mean, she puts on a fucking show.
Well, and that's
I mean-
so think about the Eras tour. So it's every night is sold out for the entire thing. It's been going on for so long now, performing 3 hours a night. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Like what?
Yeah.
And that's she's somebody that can move a crowd, because for everybody that says she can't sing, she can't do this, she can't do that. Fine, whatever. Say all those things. That's a sold out show.
Absolutely.
That's a sold out show every night. So
Absolutely.
she, you know
Every
what? Fine. She's the greatest entertainer of all time.
Like I said, you don't have to necessarily like her music, but you
Mhm.
gotta respect the performer, the
Absolutely.
professional that she is. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's and that's that. That's that.
Well, we're gonna cap off this performance with the best part, and then we'll move on. But
why don't you try this one with us, Sydney? In 3, 2,
It's in Australia.
1.
this was in Australia.
Yeah.
Come on, let it all out. In 3,
Jesus,
2,
to think that she has
one
that
last time.
power, like that much.
She commands.
Gathering commands
Oh
that
yeah.
much on the other side of the globe. It's freaking insane.
Come on. That's so sick. I've seen this so many times, and it's still so amazing. All right, we're not gonna launch into the room too much, but it's fucking sick.
Yeah, you got me, man. You got me. Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. I'll admit,
That's always my favorite thing. Is like, I'll talk to somebody, or somebody will comment something, and I'll just leave a link to something
Yeah.
sometimes. So I'm like, I get you. Listen to this, and then talk to me.
yeah, man. I mean, that's a completely different experience.
But
Completely different
also,
experience of
to be
Taylor Swift.
fair, it's not like she does that all the time. It was, during this tour, that was a long time ago.
For sure.
But you can see the performer she is, and I think that you can get that out of her live performances. It's incredible. So,
Absolutely.
last one I'm going to show you. This
Okay.
one is, it's fucking sick. I don't really know how to explain it. I know you like classic rock, but imagine, so this is a classic rock ballad.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm excited.
I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to start kind of where I'm just going to show you who it is.
Oh, I'm gonna stop you right there.
You know this?
Fucking love that song. Another one of my guilty
Wait a minute,
pleasures.
whoa, for the crowd.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
This is Harry Styles' Sign of the Times.
I am not kidding. Oh yeah. I used to listen to this song while I was working out. And for anybody that knows me, if a song makes it to my workout playlist, it's on another level for me personally.
Wait a minute.
So
do you know anything about Harry Styles?
I know he used to be in One Direction.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's the most talented one. And also, I don't know if your audience agrees, but I've been dubbed like that Zayn guy. People say that I look like him or he looks like me or whatever. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, I had ex-girlfriends literally say that that's why they were attracted to me, because I look like Zayn from One Direction. I'm not.
That's not a bad problem to have.
I don't think so either, because, I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But and when it comes to like Harry Styles and that song, Sign of the Times, I mean, fucking beautiful song. And I am not even kidding. I used to listen to that song. I got a video of me on the Stairmaster sweating like a pig, fucking listening to Harry Styles, Sign of the Times. I mean,
have you
such a good song.
Do you ever listen to anything else from him, or was that it?
That is one.
Did you listen to that album?
No, I didn't. It's an album. This how I know that. So your audience, it's an album where like there's like a showered girl, or like she's white, right? She's like
it's him. He's in,
it's him.
He's like in the water or something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's him in the water.
Right. I mean, you can't tell.
You can't tell. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's how I know. That's how I know the song. I mean, I'm not bullshitting. Yeah.
She walked away through a cheap pack of cigarettes, hard liquor mixed with a bit of intellect, and all the boys they were.
You didn't expect that instrumental, did you?
I did not.
This song is crazy.
Is he playing?
He plays. I don't think he's playing this though.
He plays the piano, right?
He plays.
If I'm wrong. Does he play the piano? I'm sorry.
He plays kind of everything.
Oh yeah.
This reminds me of like Jet. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Now he is a huge classic rock fan.
Yeah.
He's somebody to nerd out about music with.
Oh, absolutely. So I gotta thank you, because I had totally forgotten about that song.
Oh, really?
So, dude,
and that's a live
I'm
version.
gonna fucking listen to that song next time I'm driving or anything like that, dude. So thank you so much, because that was definitely a trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
Because
and to be honest, I did. So when I played you One Direction, No Control, and you didn't say anything about Harry Styles, I didn't even expect you to even know that
they didn't connect those dots at the point. But when you played that song, immediately, right away.
So mine worked backwards. I actually had never really listened to One Direction. I had heard What Makes You Beautiful, but I didn't know that was One Direction, and I had heard it a long time before. And then I listened to, somebody had me react to Harry Styles, I did a song he put out. Someone's like, you have to check out Sign of the Times. And I was like, well,
sure.
Okay. So I listened to it, chills. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? I thought it was, I don't know what I thought Harry Styles sounded like, but it wasn't that. So I was like, I gotta dive into this.
Same.
So I listened to Sign of the Times. I ended up listening to all of his music, which got me into other members, which ended up getting me into One Direction.
That's awesome.
So the pathway for me started with his solo career, but it ended with me being a fan of not only that group, but everyone involved. Like, it's such talented individuals. We know about them because they became a group, but fuck, man, they were all already so good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, didn't they break a record of like sales in the UK or something?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So like literally, One Direction, I say this all the time, they will go down in history for what they've done in music, because they commanded so much attention in such a short time span. Also, this isn't even the work that they had to do from like their pivotal years. They're like 15, 16, right?
Yeah.
That's like an important time.
Oh, absolutely.
All they did was tour.
Yeah.
Like all they did was tour for 5 or 6 years, and like they toured as celebrities.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh yeah.
When you,
oh, yeah. When you're that young, yeah.
I've seen videos of them being snuck out of hotel rooms to go see some of the sightseeing stuff in catering vans because they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, because the girls are going crazy for
That's
them.
right. And maybe even
Good problem to have. I mean, but
That's
yeah,
true.
they're definitely very talented. That's for sure.
So I love that we did this. You guys got to let me know in the comment section. Obviously I don't collab a lot, but we're going to be kind of maybe doing the podcast more often together. And like, I'd love to be able to kind of do this every once in a while. You guys gotta let me know if you're interested. But I know that Pablo, before I ask you any questions, I kind of want to plug your stuff. Like Pablo's got a YouTube channel, Students of the Game, which he talked about. It's a cool podcast, just sharing positivity and stuff in life and entrepreneurship, relationships, friendships. It's a cool
Music.
vibe. What is it?
Music is
Yeah,
well.
music, which I keep telling you guys got to get a music channel. But I got to know, we listened to these 5 songs, just new sign of the times. Realistically, before I got here, your definition of pop music, probably a little bit different than this.
So, you mentioned that I'm a classic rock fan.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
Okay.
The Beatles are pop.
Yeah.
Anybody that says otherwise, they are rock, but they were pop.
They're a pop rock
They're a
band.
pop rock band. I love the Beatles.
Heavily inspired.
I love the Beatles. I love the Beatles. So, yes, my definition of pop was a little bit different.
Sure.
But in terms of like,
I guess more so like what I'm sorry, definition is probably wrong. Your expectation, like what did you expect? If I told you that we were going to sit down right now, I was going to show you One Direction, 5 Seconds of Summer, Harry Styles, and Taylor Swift, you're probably thinking, fuck.
No, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. I'm not ignorant enough to say, oh, pop takes no talent or anything.
Sure.
Like that. Absolutely not. I feel like pop gets a bad rep in terms of like, oh, there's no instruments involved or anything like
Sure.
that. But what you just played right now, kind of like,
Absolutely.
Shut that down. So
another thing too. So Harry Styles is a person, but I always say Harry Styles, it's a band. He has the same band.
Yeah.
He works with the same band. They write all the music together. They perform every time together. 5 Seconds of Summer, they're actually a band.
Yeah.
One Direction, while they do play instruments, they didn't live. Every once in a while, Niall would play guitar, but they had a live band, same live band, super talented. Taylor Swift, pretty much the same band from the very beginning.
Right.
Like all these people agree with you.
Yeah.
I'll even tell you from a music production standpoint, a live instrument being recorded into a computer sounds way better than like me using a VST on something like Fruity Loops, which is a virtual,
absolutely, for sure.
right? So a studio recorded record sounds great, but it never beats live.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It never
with that.
beats live,
I agree.
and I think that pop music is different when it's live. I think that if you see rappers are a great example. If you go see a rapper live, it's hit or miss on if it's going to be good because they're rapping
I agree
over,
with that.
right? They're rapping over themselves, right? But you go see an artist and they use a live band. Like how many times I've seen Lupe Fiasco, Nelly, all these artists, they use a live band.
Absolutely. So Bruno Mars.
Oh hell,
Bruno Mars.
great example.
That guy has a freaking amazing band.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a jazz fan as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a freaking jazz fan. I mean, that guy, I have not seen him live, but that's one person is he considered pop? I'm sorry, excuse my ignorance.
Who?
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. I think he started out in like the more like hip hop, pop, R&B kind of space, but he definitely became more pop.
Absolutely. So that's somebody that I would go to see.
Yeah.
Like I would go to see.
He's very
for sure.
talented.
Absolutely.
Very talented.
Because I've heard that. I've seen videos of him in the band that he uses. Oh my
Mhm.
god, man, it's freaking. And one of my mentors, who is a jazz connoisseur. I mean, this guy is basically
That's
the
really
law.
sick.
The
That's
law
really
when
sick.
it comes to jazz. He's into fusion, all that stuff.
Mhm.
For him to say that, yeah, Bruno Mars is
Dude.
yeah. For him to say that,
That's
it's like
cool.
that really opened my eyes to and broadened my horizon because. I don't think people think of these guys like that, or these artists like that.
Yeah.
It's always, oh, they're pop, whatever.
See,
you know?
and I think like not even like I would say it was ignorance of myself too. I've always been a huge music nerd. I think anybody that has known me from the time I was a small child until now, I'm the same person when it comes to music. I love most of it, and I'm gonna talk about it too much. But even my ignorance there, when it came to One Direction, I had people ask me to react to him, but I would see that name and I associated it with something that is totally not what it was.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know why. I thought it was like this very bubble, which I don't have a problem with bubblegum, but like it felt like it'd be like a very bubblegum sound. I don't know what it was. And I'm so glad that I like let that go.
Right.
Because I think I've always been open-minded towards music, but my channel made me even more open-minded because it exposed me to so much music that now I'm at a point where I wish I could live long enough just to hear it all before I die. You know?
No, absolutely. And I think to that point is, I think what gets pushed out there, the mainstream stuff that gets pushed out there, sometimes isn't what the artists really want to
No.
have the audience, their audience listen to.
Yeah.
That you have to be such a fan of the band or the artist to really dive deep into
Yeah.
it, and that's
It's almost like the best songs are reserved exclusively for actual fans.
exactly,
Like,
which I think is unfair. But I mean, it is what it is.
but there's definitely there's a terminology that people use. They say it's what do they call it? You call it being a local, and that's somebody who's like a really big fan of an artist but only likes the singles.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that because
Yeah.
like for the most part, like unless you're like really into music,
Right.
you're hearing music in a singles way.
Yeah.
But like, I do feel like people miss out because I think that for the most part, singles just don't give you everything. But there are standouts. Harry Styles' "Sign of the Times," that was a single,
Bro,
and that was also his biggest song still, and that was his first debut single.
you get those sometimes. Very rarely.
It doesn't happen
It's a
often.
mainstream song. Like we were talking.
Olivia Rodrigo, "Driver's License."
Yes, I've heard that one.
Dude,
too.
that
Yeah,
shit,
yeah, yeah.
that shit.
Is
broke
it?
the
Would you
world.
say you're a bigger fan? Would you say that's like her?
I
one
would
of her better
say
songs.
it's really hard to say because she's so young that she's just getting better. Like she's
Right.
got so much time to keep getting better. But I will say that if I reacted to that song the day it came out, another video that like really like shifted the channel. I got 400,000 views on that, and I don't
Nice.
get those kind of views.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
But amazing song. I would say that her newest album is actually better,
Yeah.
which is fucking crazy because her debut album literally broke all the records.
Nice.
But yeah, you're right. Every once in a while, you get a single
Oh yeah.
like that, and it takes you to a new level. One Direction, "What Makes You Beautiful."
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
that
yeah.
song. Everybody knows that song.
Oh yeah. And I mean that was a guilty pleasure of mine as well. I mean that's
Look
what
at
makes
that.
you
I don't even need
beautiful.
to be here.
I mean,
all I needed him to do was talk about it. I didn't know that. So I didn't know that.
that.
So this is really cool because if we end up doing something like this again,
Oh man.
I'm going to dive even further. But I wanted to take these names that you definitely know, but probably aren't too familiar with. I wanted to make sure, like, let me show you something from a band that if you saw somebody walking in a store and you saw their hoodie, you'd be able to say, "I love No Control," and they'd be like, "Oh my god, you know that?"
And I aspire for you to show me hidden gems because I am 1,000% believer in there's hidden gems in there that can potentially become some of my favorite songs that I've ever heard. Like Silent Touch, dude. Like I totally forgot about that song. I can't believe you. That's the song that because I love that song.
Do you know he originally?
It's playing in my head right now as we speak, dude.
He originally recorded it. He said, "Why are we always fucking running from the bullet?" But then they didn't want to put "fuck" in and it being like a mainstream
Yeah,
song.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
So, I watched the documentary. On
Okay,
it.
yeah.
That's what I do on Patreon.
Yeah.
But I'm so stoked about this because I feel like in conversation, the vibe that I got is different of what I thought you might feel about
Right.
these. But I knew that you would latch onto the guitars because you're like me in that
Oh,
sense.
absolutely.
That's what I like about rock. I love a good distorted, crunchy guitar, which all of these had. 5 Seconds of Summer's "Teeth" live from the vault. That is the most close representation of what that band is like live without showing you a live video like from like a show.
Right.
But like if you hear that song, it feels more like an 80s new wave song, but you hear the rock version, fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love this. So I hope you enjoy doing this. Is this something you're kind of into?
Dude, this is amazing. I am. First of all, man, thank you again. I am completely.
Look at the setup, by the way.
Totally
Hey, he
honored.
just started doing this shit. I've been doing this since 2018. I don't give you all this. Look at
Yeah,
this.
and I mean,
This is
allow me
crazy.
to praise you on your own channel, man. Steven is the reason why I ended up pulling the trigger. I always wanted to do something for myself, and it wasn't until you, Steven, told me, dude, you got what it takes to do it. That's when okay, let's get the ball rolling.
I
Take that
appreciate
first
that,
step.
man.
No, I'll always give you credit for that.
I
bro.
appreciate
really
that.
appreciate it. And you got something. I mean, I can only aspire to be
Bro,
as successful as you.
Come
man.
on.
So, And I mean, just positive, bro. Just super positive. I've seen your videos. I commented on your videos. I'm subscribed to your
He
channel.
just gave me a hard time for not replying.
Yeah,
I said, I didn't see it.
What the hell? But yeah, man, wait, come on. Give the
Everybody
guy
over here is
give
probably
the-
like, oh wait, he replies?
Give the guy a break, please. I mean, he's getting freaking thousands and thousands of comments every day. So
On the real, I really appreciate all that stuff that you said. To me, you know, I don't meet a lot of people. Everybody kind of knows I'm a super loner. But like, our energy kind of clicked right away. And we started talking about music almost like within the first couple of days that we met. And since then, we just like, this was budding to happen. And it's just so cool because I don't really connect with a lot of people other than online because the only place I go is the gym. And it just so happens to be your gym.
my gym, yeah.
And in the course of doing that, it's a cool friendship. But it's really fun for me because I preach to the choir, I feel like sometimes. Like, my fans that follow me, we all kind of have the same opinion on stuff. So it's really, like, it's a little bit like, I'm a little bit nervous, but then I'm also like, can't wait to hear feedback when I'm showing you these songs. So it's really cool that, you know, you have this open mind, but also that you didn't really have to be too open-minded today because it was all pretty fucking sick.
Oh yeah, dude. We I mean, I'm not surprised that we clicked.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's been a fucking amazing experience, bro.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you having being on here. So if you guys want to check out the podcast I did with Pablo, it's super cool. We nerded about music way more than I thought we would, which is really cool.
That's
So
amazing.
once that video is live, I'll post that link on my socials so you guys can check it out. Make sure you subscribe to Students of the Game. Not only do I believe I'm going to be a recurring guest, but also it's just going to be really cool to see the kind of positivity and the kind of people that you find on here. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it because I know you're going to have some people that you like actually know in life.
Absolutely.
And I don't really know a lot of people, and I've been living in the same area for almost 5 years, so I'm pretty like excited just to kind of, some of the people that I go to the gym with that have these like cool careers, and I would never know because I've never even talked to them. So
And that's the whole point of my channel and my podcast and this new endeavor that I'm taking on. It's to share life stories with people, getting other people's perspectives. You never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone can share with you that can touch your life in a positive way. That's what life is all about, and that's what Students of the Game is all about. Just spreading positivity and just overall positive and great vibes.
hell yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to like the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You guys gotta let me know in the comment section if you guys enjoy videos like this. I'll also leave links to Pablo's stuff, so you guys check out his Instagram, his YouTube. I think he might be streaming soon too, so he's got a lot kind of going on in the works. So I'll leave a link to all that. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Love you guys so much. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace.